Invasive animal species are notorious for their destructive impact. From tree-destroying insects to rampaging wild pigs, they frequently displace native wildlife and transform the ecosystems they enter, though they themselves are not to blame, as human activities typically introduce them to these new locales. Now here are the top 10 invasive species that came to dominate new landscapes and changed the environment forever. Number 10. Earthworm. Earthworms are often seen as one of the original invasive species. While they are a common sight underfoot, suggesting they have been a global presence underground for millennia, this is not the case in North America. Here, native earthworm species were mostly eliminated by the expanding glaciers of the Pleistocene Ice Age. The earthworms currently found in the United States, particularly in the northern regions, primarily descend from species brought over by early European settlers. Gardeners may be pleased to spot earthworms in their soil, but these creatures have had a varied impact on North American forests. Research indicates that invasive earthworms can decrease ground cover, facilitate the growth of invasive plant species, and diminish the populations of ground-nesting ovenbirds. Number 9. Cane toad. Cane toads, introduced to Australia in 1935 to control pests like cane beetles that were harming sugarcane crops, have become one of the most abundant invasive species in the region. With no natural enemies, these toads have multiplied swiftly, posing a significant threat to indigenous species. Many smaller native animals fall prey to cane toads, and the local predators that attempt to eat them are ill-equipped to handle their poisonous secretions. Following the introduction of cane toads, some populations of native lizards and snakes have declined by 80 to 100%. Now, prevalent across most of northern and western Australia, cane toads are expanding their territory at a pace of about 30 miles per year. Number 8. Zebra mussel. Zebra mussels first appeared in North America in 1988, brought over by ships coming from their original habitat in Russia. They quickly colonized the Great Lakes, spread into the Mississippi River and its tributaries, and have been discovered in states including Colorado, Texas, Utah, Nevada, and California. While mussels might seem relatively harmless, the invasion of zebra mussels has had significant consequences. They outcompete local clam and mussel populations, block industrial intake systems, and gather toxins that can harm waterfowl that feed on them. Number 7. Brown rat. Rats have left a long and destructive trail as an invasive species. Upon the discovery of Australia's Macquarie Island in the southern Pacific Ocean in 1810, rats were among the first invaders to arrive. Together with introduced rabbits and cats, they decimated the island's native vegetation and were responsible for wiping out 2 endemic bird species, the Macquarie Island parakeet and the Macquarie Island rail. In response, the Australian government committed $24.6 million in 2007 to eliminate invasive species from the island through trapping, hunting, and surveillance efforts. By 2014, they declared the eradication effort successful. Number 6. European starling. The European starling, originally from Europe, Asia, and northern Africa, has been spread to nearly all global habitats except tropical rainforests. In the United States, these birds were released intentionally to populate the American landscape with every bird species mentioned in Shakespeare's writings. Today, starlings form vast flocks that overpower local wildlife, usurp nests from other birds, and cause significant crop damage. Number 5. Brown tree snake. After being introduced to Guam in the 1950s, likely through cargo ships or aircraft, the brown tree snake devastated the island's native bird populations. The snake's numbers soared, with estimates in the 1990s reaching about 30,000 per square mile. This invasion not only dramatically reduced native animal populations, but also caused frequent power outages as the snakes climbed electrical wires. Of Guam's 11 native bird species, 9 were driven to extinction by the snake. Although control measures and a diminishing prey base have now reduced snake populations, complete eradication remains elusive. Number 4. Mountain pine beetle. Despite being merely 1/4 of an inch in size, mountain pine beetles have profoundly impacted pine forests. These invasive pests burrow beneath the bark of trees to lay eggs and introduce a lethal fungus. In the western United States and Canada, a severe outbreak that started in 1995 devastated millions of acres over 20 years. British Columbia was hit hardest, with the beetles destroying nearly 30% of its forests. Researchers attribute the extensive nature of this outbreak to climate change-induced milder winters, which enable the beetles to broaden their territory. Number 3. Northern Pacific sea star. The Northern Pacific sea star, an invasive species in Australia, poses a significant threat due to its voracious appetite. It preys on mollusks, crabs, dead fish, and other sea stars. Each female can lay between 10 to 25 million eggs annually, causing their numbers to surge rapidly. This proliferation has played a role in the decline of the spotted handfish, a distinctive species that uses its specialized fins to walk along the seabed. Found only in Tasmania's Derwent River estuary, the spotted handfish is now classified as critically endangered. Number 2. Wild pig. Wild pigs rank among the most widespread invasive species in North America. Initially introduced in the 1500s as domestic livestock, pigs that escaped captivity quickly formed feral herds in the wild. By 2018, their numbers in the United States had swelled to an estimated 6 million, with their presence recorded in 35 states. Controlling this burgeoning feral pig population primarily involves hunting, a daunting challenge. A study in Texas determined that to prevent population growth, hunters must cull 66% of the pigs annually, a requirement stemming from the species' high reproductive rate. Number 1. Burmese Python. In Florida, including within the safeguarded bounds of the Everglades, Burmese pythons have overtaken alligators as the predominant apex predators. Originally introduced through the exotic pet trade, these pythons have entered the wild either through escapes or intentional releases by their owners. Known for their aggressive hunting prowess, pythons have had a catastrophic impact on local wildlife. A study from 2012 revealed that these snakes have caused significant declines in the populations of native mammals in South Florida, with losses amounting to 98.9% of opossums and 87.5% of bobcats. And there you have it. Those were the 10 most invasive animals wreaking havoc across the globe. From the voracious Burmese python to the relentless zebra mussel, these creatures are proof of how fragile our ecosystems can be. But what do you think? Are there other invasive species you know about that deserve a spot on our list? Let us know in the comments below. If you found our journey into the world of invasive species enlightening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our wild adventures. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring more fascinating content right to you. Check out our other videos for more incredible animal facts and stories. You may also want to watch 10 recent animal species discoveries and 10 most endangered animals in the U.S. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the wild side of life.